Alright, so in today's video, this is going to be 3 things to never tell a woman, okay? Or 3 things to never let a woman know. Now, here's what you have to understand today, okay? Number 3 is the most important. I saved the best for last. But you're not going to understand point number 3 to the fullest until you have the first 2 points understood to a high degree first. Okay, so let me give you an example here. Why do women a lot of times say, you know, I like when a man is mature, or I like a guy who is a few years older than me? The reason being is because he probably has the wisdom to not say the wrong things that keep turning her off with majority of the men that she's dated in the past. So keep that in mind, okay? My whole goal is to save you from at least some of the mistakes. Okay, so that way you don't have to go out in the world and make all the mistakes yourself. Now, after this video is over too, I advise you to take this a step further, because what I created was an entire process called the language of women. So guys inside of my community, they call it LOW for short, language of women. So here's an example, okay? One of the guys inside of our community, he goes, never had so much success on Tinder with language of women, they just come to you. He goes, feeling great today, boys. And you can see all of the matches that he has. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing is like when guys actually have a process, they win. Okay, and I've taken years to create the best process for you. So when today's video is over, I want you to be sure to join us inside of that. It is seriously amazing. Now, with all that said, let's get into the 3 points. Okay, like I told you, number 3 was most important, but let's dive in. Okay, number 1, the first thing to never let a woman know, okay, never let her know this. You want to never let them know that you are in love with them. Okay? Listen to me very closely. Never under any circumstances let a woman know that you are in love with her. There's a very high likelihood that majority of all of you watching this video right now, every single woman in the past that you have ever loved or told that you are in love with has pulled away from you or left you. Okay, so as a man ages, as a man acquires more wisdom, you have to start to understand the things that turn women off. Okay? When you tell a woman that you are in love with her, or she can feel or she can sense that you are in love with her, she starts to doubt your value. And she starts to doubt your value in a lot of different ways. The first thing that you're going to notice is she starts to doubt your SMV, your sexual market value, which means you're going to notice that she will continuously question if she can do better. Okay? Another thing that she is going to start to actually doubt is your strength. Now, this is the worst out of all of them because this one is almost unrecoverable. When a woman doubts your strength, it's almost like she doubts your value as a whole. When a woman doubts your strength, it's almost like she feels like you're too weak to lead her and too weak to protect her. And the sad truth or the sad reality is that any form of emotional attachment that a woman feels that you have towards her typically will get labeled as weakness, and typically she will pull away from you. This is just the way that it is. Now, the reason why number 1 is so important here to understand, when I say never let a woman know that you are in love with her or you're in love with them in general, like you don't want to show this, you don't want to demonstrate this, the thing that you have to remember is it is not just you saying it with your mouth. It goes much deeper. It's the verbal nuances. It's the tone of your voice. It is the way that you make eye contact. It is your mannerisms. These little things start showing up. They start showing up in how you walk, how you talk, how you operate, and how you communicate. I would even say this. Go into your phone right now and look at your ex-girlfriend who maybe pulled away from you or left you. Okay, and now compare that to a different woman that you're seeing or that you have saw and you don't have as high of interest in. Look at the differences in your communication and your text messaging. Look at the differences in the small nuances and the sub-communication with how you're showing up. These things matter. Women can tell when you're in love with them. So the first thing that you never want to do under any circumstances is you do not want to show them or tell them that you are in love with them. Okay? And keep in mind, there's a very big difference between saying I love you or I love you too, especially if she says it first, compared to being in love with her. When you have fallen in love with her, she can see like you are easily manipulated. She can see that your emotions have taken over, so you're no longer thinking rationally. You're no longer making proper decisions as a man. And this is going to make it so she doubts your judgment and your character and your value. And this is a mistake that is basically unrecoverable, because once you've shown your cards, right, once she can fully see how you feel about her, she now has changed her perception of you almost forever. And you're going to be a different man to her in her eyes than you once were. So that's number one. Okay, let's move on to number two. Number two, the second thing to never tell a woman is you never want to tell her how she makes you feel. If you start to emote to a woman, if you start to become overly emotional, if you start to show her and tell her how she makes you feel, if you start saying things like, oh, I've never felt this way before, oh, I look at you as a real girlfriend, oh, I look at you as someone who is a real companion who I would want to marry one day, you make me feel amazing, you make me feel complete, you make me feel like I'm the luckiest man in the world. If you ever tell a woman how she makes you feel, watch her start to lose attraction for you, what will feel like almost right there in that exact moment. Never tell a woman how she makes you feel. Here's what you're going to notice if you do this. Her mood will probably become very disrespectful towards you. She's going to start to talk to you in a tone of voice that just makes it seem like she is unhappy. You're going to notice that she no longer has romantic interest in you. There's a bunch of issues that start to come. When you tell a woman how she makes you feel, what you've basically done, or what has basically happened right here in this moment, is you have shown that your internal world of emotion or your internal fortitude can be changed. A woman wants to look at you as if you are strong and stable, like a brick wall. You can't move the brick wall. So if she notices that she can move the brick wall, even if it's in a positive way, right? Positive or negative, it doesn't matter. If she can see that you are now reactive and you can be changed, if she is affecting your internal world of emotion, she is going to start to doubt your value. She's going to start to doubt the relationship. She's going to start to doubt everything about your masculinity. These are things that you cannot make up for with sex appeal. Like the things that I'm teaching you right now in this video, you can't make up for this with sex appeal, good tattoos, and a nice car, or a bunch of money. You can't make up for it with those things. You can't make up for it with anything on the external. These are internal value traits. These are internal strength characteristics of masculinity. This right here is what you have to start to master and what you have to internalize and understand. And this is why I advise all of you, after this video is over, you have to join us inside of the language of women. It is my life's work. It's taken me years to build, and I know that it will improve your life at an even deeper level. But nevertheless, let's get to point 3. What is the third thing that you can never let a woman know? What is the third thing that you can never tell a woman? The third thing that you can never, ever, ever tell a woman is that you have been cheated on or you have been heartbroken. Never under any circumstances tell a woman this, and I'm going to explain why. Women know how other women tend to think and how other women tend to operate. This is why if women enter, let's say, a party or a social event or whatever, and women see that there's quite a few women who have interest in this one specific guy, majority of women will start to gain attraction for him or towards him too. Okay? So women know how women think and how women operate and why women do the things that they do. And this is almost like unspoken traits. Like, she doesn't need to talk to one of her girlfriends to know this. Women just know this on like a subconscious level, right? Like, they just know this. So here's what I can tell you. If you tell a woman that you have been cheated on, she knows that you have probably became weak for a past relationship. So now she either will potentially doubt your value, or she's going to see if she can get you into that state too. Because what she knows is she knows that at one point you probably loved that girl, or you have fallen in love with her, which caused you to get cheated on. And women know how this stuff works. So now what's going to probably happen is she's going to try to see if she can get you to enter into that state with her. Now, the second piece to this is you never, ever, ever want to tell a woman that you have ever been heartbroken. Because what that does is that implies that in the past you have become emotionally weak or emotionally attached to a woman. And this is not good. You might even watch a woman have very high interest in you, and if you start to say these things, she might have almost no interest in you. Because women care about how you act. And women specifically want to know that you just understand these things, or it's almost like you were just naturally, born this way where you have the confidence and the ability to know what to do as a man. Right, so this is what you have to remember at all times. You never want to tell these things. You never want to tell a woman that you've been cheated on. You never want to tell a woman that you've been heartbroken. Because this will imply that in the past you have become emotionally weak. So out of all of these things, why are we doing this? Why do we not want to tell a woman these things ever when we're dating or when we're in a relationship? We're doing this because we are showing two things at all times. So write this down on a sheet of paper if you have to. At all times, we are showing these two things. The first thing that we are showing is we are showing that we are not overly emotional, okay, by getting emotionally attached and by going weak for women's beauty or for a past relationship. She wants to see that you're strong and that you're stable. But the second thing that she wants to see, or that we want to demonstrate, is we want to show at all times, hey, I am happy and healthy with good genes, and therefore life is easy for me because people have treated me well. Okay, so if a woman sees, hey, in the past other women have not treated him well, there's probably a reason. We want to appear, okay, as if we've had no issues, we've never been heartbroken, and our life is completely effortless. And when you carry yourself that way, she goes, wow, there's something about him. Look at that energy. Survival must be easy for that man. Now hypergamy is more satisfied because she wants to be by you, because you look like a winner, because it appears as if life is effortless for you. See, you have to carry yourself as such. You have to carry yourself as if you have this certain vibe and charismatic energy and ease of life towards you. And that's the world that a woman wants to come into when she's in a relationship with you. Any form of negative energy or heavy energy that says, I've been heartbroken, I've been hurt in the past, anything like that, they do not want to know that. Because then she's going to say, hey, there must have been a reason for it. And if that other woman thought that way about him, maybe I should too. If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. I want you to join us inside of that community. I have brought over 1,200 men together inside of that for a reason. I fully believe that the language of women is the best process that a man can follow to start to attract and keep the women that he wants. This has taken me years to build. This has taken me years to acquire this information and this knowledge in my own dating life. And on top of that, this took me months to put together for you guys. So with that said, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.